everyone, Jennifer Maker here. Today I'm going to show you the best ways to use different types of Cricut iron-on vinyl just like these. We'll go over projects for several different types of iron-on vinyl, the correct settings for the best results, and how to layer multiple kinds of iron-on vinyl together. I'll also share several free designs with cute nautical themes just like these and just like this one. So let's head on over to my craft table and we'll get started. Cricut vinyl projects are really fun, but there are so many options and combinations, and I know it can be a little overwhelming if you're a beginner. There are cut settings, compatible materials, layering, care instructions. It's a lot to keep straight. I totally get it. So let's look at the different types of Cricut iron-on vinyl that you can use. First, we have the everyday iron-on vinyl. This is the most universal of the heat transfer vinyls. It works with so many materials: burlap, cardstock, chipboard, corkboard, 100% cotton, cotton canvas, cotton poly blend, faux leather, felt, mesh, muslin, neoprene, polyester, silk, wood, and wool are some of my favorite materials. If you need a base layer, everyday iron-on is the easiest choice. Now, glitter iron-on vinyl adds sparkle to your projects. You can apply it on its own or layer it over everyday iron-on. It works with the same materials as Cricut everyday iron-on, and the glitter iron-on vinyl is really thick and the little glitter pieces give it texture. Now, the shiny bits can stick to your blade, so remember to clean your blade off after cutting glitter iron-on. Also, glitter iron-on is compatible with sublimation ink. I'll be exploring that option in a later video. Cricut's Sport Flex, which is right here, is great for stretchy activewear. It's ideal for polyester and nylon fabrics, but can also adhere to corkboard and neoprene. It's important to note that the Sport Flex iron-on will not adhere to high cotton blend fabrics. This vinyl is very thin, so adding some butcher paper between it and your heat press will keep it from singeing. Cricut Everyday Mesh Iron-On Vinyl adds a fun aspect to your designs. Mesh vinyl has a cutout pattern on it that reminds me of sport jerseys. Mesh vinyl can be layered to enhance the mesh appearance or applied by itself. This vinyl works with all of the same materials as Cricut Everyday Iron-On Vinyl. And remember, the vinyl has the small holes in it, so it works best with designs with thicker elements. It will be difficult to get a really nice result if your project has delicate parts or fiddly bits, especially if the holes separate the vinyl. Mesh also shouldn't be used as the base layer of a design. And last but not least, we have foil iron-on vinyl, which adds a shiny, eye-catching look to your designs. It works well on cardstock, 100% cotton, cotton canvas, cotton poly blends, faux leather, felt, mesh, muslin, neoprene, nylon, polyester, silk, and wool. It's pretty delicate, so don't use it as a base layer. Besides, that would cover up the shine. Now, I've noticed that some materials' texture shows through foil, so keep that in mind. Now, certain iron-on materials cannot be the base layer for layered iron-on vinyl designs, such as holographic sparkle, foil, glitter mesh, or flocked iron-on. Do not layer anything on top of these vinyls. Also, designs made with these are more likely to peel over time, especially when washed, so this is always good to know. Everyday iron-on makes the best base for layering, comes in so many colors, and all of the other vinyls, including the holographic sparkle, foil, glitter mesh, and flocked iron-on, with the exception of Sport Flex, can be layered over everyday iron-on. So now I want to show you some of the cool things that you can make with these Cricut vinyls. All of these vinyls that I have here were available in the Sailor's Delight mystery box that came out in early August. Mystery boxes are a great way to get an assortment of materials to try like this. Sometimes they have Cricut kitties in them. You can learn more about mystery boxes at jennifermaker.com/Cricut mystery box. So I'm going to use the same colors and types of vinyl that were in the mystery box to show you how to make 3 Cricut vinyl projects. They are so fun. I'm going to show you how to put the nautical love design in Sport Flex on a stretchy polyester shirt. Then we'll add a cute beach design to a canvas zipper pouch using mesh iron-on vinyl, just like this. And finally, I'll show you how to layer this cruise ship on a cotton canvas tote. We'll use foil, glitter, and everyday iron-on for this project. Since we're working with heat transfer vinyl, we will need a heat source. I'm going to use my Cricut Easy Press 2 with a pressing mat. We'll also need butcher paper to protect our press and projects, and heat-resistant tape to keep everything in place. Now I cut my designs on the Cricut Maker 3, but you can also use an Original Maker or any of the Explore cutting machines. You can even use a Cricut Joy if you resize the designs to fit. These materials cut well on a green standard grip mat using the basic fine point blade that comes with your Cricut. Some of our standard crafting tools will be helpful too. I recommend you have a brayer, scissors, tape measure, weeding tool, and lint roller ready. If you want to make all of the weeding a bit easier, I strongly recommend a Cricut Bight Pad, especially if you're using white vinyl like I am. It makes it so much easier to see the vinyl on the Bight Pad like this. All right, are you ready to start? Let me show you where to get the free designs that we're using for all of our projects, and then I'll show you how to cut and apply the Cricut iron-on vinyl. Step 1. Get my free Cricut vinyl project files. You can use any of my free designs. To find them, go to jennifermaker.com/405 and look for libraries in the red bar at the top. And then either click Get a Password if you don't yet have one, or click Enter the library. You can find the design by searching for design number 405 and then click it to download a zip file. It includes an SVG for use with Cricut Design Space. I'll show you how to cut the SVG with a Cricut Maker 3, but you can also use an Original Maker, any Explore machine, and even a Cricut Joy if you want to make mini versions. Upload the Design Collection SVG to Cricut Design Space and add the file to your canvas. This is what my Cricut Vinyl Projects SVG file looks like on the canvas. You can zoom out to see all of the designs by clicking on the minus sign on the lower left. The 3 designs I've included have a beachy nautical theme. I'll show you how to put the love design on a t-shirt, the beach decal on a zipper pouch, and the layered ship on a tote. Notice that the love and beach designs use one color, but the ship design uses 3, including letters and an offset layer that overlaps. Keep that in mind when picking your vinyls, since they can't all layer over each other. For example, you can't layer glitter on top of glitter, but you could put glitter on top of Cricut Everyday Vinyl. Step 2. Plan your iron-on vinyl and blank materials. Remember, not every type of iron-on vinyl will work with each blank, so make a plan before you start editing the designs. Measure the blanks too, so you know what size to cut each design. Keep your machine mat and heat press sizes in mind as well, so you don't get your heart set on really big versions that will be hard to cut and transfer. Today I want to put the love design on a woman's polyester t-shirt, which is pretty stretchy. Cricut SportFlex Iron-On is perfect for this one-layer project. I have helpful diagrams that show the maximum recommended design size for different shirts and sizes available at jennifermaker.com/sublimation t-shirt. Since I'm making a woman's medium crew neck, I won't make the decal larger than 12 inches tall by 10 inches wide. The zipper pouch is canvas, so I have lots of options. I'm going to use Cricut Mesh Iron-On to add some texture to the project. We don't want the design to get too close to the zipper or edges, since those areas are hard to heat and press evenly. Measure your pouch and subtract 1 inch from each dimension to create a 1/2 inch margin all around the design. The layered ship on the cotton canvas tote takes the most planning. The design is set to have 4 colors, including letters with an offset, which we'll have to layer. I want to use some glitter iron-on for this project, but that can't be a base layer. The glitter iron-on, however, works well on top of everyday iron-on. I'll use those vinyls for the letters and offset, foil iron-on for the ship, and more everyday iron-on for the hearts. I want the decal to fill up lots of the tote bag's front, but also want it to be manageable to transfer. Making it 10 inches wide should work really well. Step 3. Prepare your Cricut vinyl designs. Back in Cricut Design Space, these fun decals are nearly ready, but separating the designs will make customizing and cutting them easier. To do this, first click Ungroup to separate the designs on the canvas. You can hide or delete whatever you don't want to use. I'm going to make all three, so I will leave them all on the canvas. Grab your resizing and material notes and select your first design. With the lock icon closed, use the size fields to resize it to fit your blank. I changed the Love Design's width to 10 to fit the shirt that I'm making. You can also use the color box at the top to change the design's color. I'll change this one to white. My pouch is 11 inches wide and 9 inches tall, so I'll change the beach design's height to 8 for a good fit. I'm also going to change this design to blue. Based on the size of my tote bag, I'm going to leave the lock icon closed and change the width, the W, of the ship design to 10 inches. The ship design is already separated into layers to use different colors. You can change them by selecting the individual layers and using the color picker box. You can ultimately place any color of vinyl on the cutting mat for each layer, but this helps you visualize the final result. I'm going to make the ship royal blue and use foil iron-on for that layer to add some sparkle. I will change both of the heart layers to light orange to represent gold and change the letter offset to navy. Now I said I wanted to make the letters using white Cricut iron-on vinyl, but if you're using different types of vinyl, don't use the same color for more than one layer, including any other designs you're cutting at the same time. Cricut Design Space will put the same colors on the same mat to cut together. If I set the letters to white, they try to cut out the same material as the Love design. Since I want the letters to go on their own mat, I'll make them gray instead. Once your designs are sized and your colors are set for the different types of vinyl, select the right machine and click Make It in the upper corner. Step 4. Cut and weed your Cricut vinyl designs. If you're prompted to pick how you'll load your material, make the appropriate selection. I'm using different types of iron-on vinyl on a 12x12 green standard grip machine mat with my Maker 3, so I will select On Mat, and then click Continue. On the Prepare screen, make sure the correct design pieces are on the right mats if you're cutting them out of the same material. If you see a mistake, click Cancel to go back and fix it. When everything looks good, toggle Mirror On for every mat. That way the decals will face the right direction when we flip them over and iron them on to the blanks. In general, all iron-on vinyl designs should be mirrored. Click back to the first mat and then click Continue in the lower right corner. On the Make screen, remember to change the material setting for each mat if you're using different vinyls. If you don't see the vinyl that you're using as a material option, click Browse All Materials to search for it and select it. For all of the vinyls, select More Pressure from the drop-down menu. A Cricut fine point blade worked for all of these options. It's important to place your iron-on vinyl shiny side down on each machine mat. That way you can adhere the correct size to the blank and the mirrored designs will be legible. Press the flashing arrows to load your mat into your Cricut machine, and when the middle button flashes, press it to begin the cut. When the first mat is done, press the flashing arrows to unload the mat. Place the next piece of vinyl shiny side down on the mat and load it into your Cricut. Again, select the appropriate material and More Pressure. Repeat these steps until you've cut all of your design pieces. Once the vinyl is done cutting, use your scissors to trim away the excess material around the designs. Then use a weeding tool to remove the rest of the vinyl, including all of the small bits inside the letters. If you're using white vinyl, it can be hard to tell the material from the carrier sheet and find all the small pieces to remove. I like to place the vinyl on my Cricut Bight Pad, which really helps. Step 5. Press your Cricut vinyl projects. Different blanks, materials, and presses require different temperature, pressure, and peeling combinations. Consult the Cricut Heat Guide if you're using anything different than I am in this video. You can find it at jennifermaker.com/easypress. First, let's do the 100% polyester t-shirt with the Love design using Cricut SportFlex iron-on vinyl. Preheat the Easy Press to 305 degrees. Fold your shirt in half lengthwise and place it on the heat-resistant mat. Once the heat press comes to the right temperature, press the crease for a few seconds to make an alignment line. It might not be perfect since the fabric is stretchy, but do your best. This also serves to preheat your fabric. Open the shirt and lay it face up on the mat. Use the lint roller to remove any debris and adjust the center crease as needed. Carefully fold your design in the same way, creasing just the very top and bottom of the liner and not any of the vinyl. Place the design shiny side up with the vinyl against the shirt, lining up the crease marks. The top of the design should be no more than 3 inches below the collar for an adult crew neck shirt. Use the crease to center the design and make sure it's even. Cricut SportFlex iron-on vinyl is very thin, so place a piece of butcher paper over the liner to help spread the heat out. You could also use a Teflon sheet. Press the design with light pressure, and that means just hold the press in place with one hand for 30 seconds. Then gently flip the shirt over and press the back with light pressure for 15 seconds. Allow the shirt and vinyl to cool and gently remove the liner. If you're using a light vinyl, the color may change a bit as it cools. And you are all done. Now let's make the zipper pouch with the Beach Life design and Cricut Mesh iron-on vinyl. Set the Cricut Easy Press to 340 degrees. Lay the pouch face up on your pressing mat. Once it comes to temperature, preheat the pouch for 5 seconds on the side you want to decorate. Use a lint roller to remove any debris. Place the mesh iron-on design on the zipper pouch vinyl side down and press with light pressure for 30 seconds. Flip the pouch over and press the back for 15 seconds. Allow the design and pouch to cool and gently remove the liner. This one is done too. Now let's do the tote with multicolored ship design and various Cricut vinyl types. Layer designs take more planning and often have different press settings. And remember, some of the vinyls, including the glitter iron-on vinyl, can't have another layer of vinyl added on top. That means the glitter letters will go on top as a second layer. The first layer will be the foil iron-on vinyl ship, then the everyday iron-on vinyl hearts, and then the everyday iron-on letter offset. Then we'll add the glitter iron-on vinyl letters as the top layer. Closely trim the excess liner around the ship, heart, and offset pieces so they won't overlap when in place. If any liner gets between the vinyl and the tote, the design will not stick. If you're working with vinyls that require different temperatures like I am, preheat the Easy Press to the lowest temperature. I set mine to 290 degrees Fahrenheit. Use the lint roller to remove any debris. When it comes to the right temperature, preheat the tote on the heat-resistant mat with light pressure for 5 seconds. Place the ship, hearts, and offset layer vinyl side down on the tote in position. Use heat-resistant tape to keep everything in place. Press the designs for 30 seconds with light pressure. Gently flip the tote and press for another 15 seconds on the back side. Leave the ship and heart liners in place to protect them from the next press. The large foil areas may look a bit textured, and that's okay. When cool, only remove the liner for the offset piece. Lower the Cricut Easy Press temperature to 270 degrees for the glitter iron-on. Place the wording over the offset piece, vinyl side down. Make sure the visible offset is as even as possible around the letters. Although the Cricut heat guide says to use light pressure, I used medium pressure with 2 hands to help the bottom layer of everyday iron-on vinyl adhere to the tote while the glitter vinyl heated up. Press the design for 30 seconds. Now flip the tote and again press for 15 seconds from the back. When it's cool, gently remove all of the liner pieces. If any sections of vinyl lift with the carrier sheet, just put the carrier sheet back down, place the liner over any nearby vinyl, and reheat the area with a Cricut Easy Press. And you're done. Aren't these such fun projects? And you can customize them to fit your favorite colors. Now, I recommend waiting at least 24 hours after pressing before you wash any of them to let the vinyl set. For the best results, wash and dry the items inside out, just like this, following the care instructions for your item. If any vinyl begins to lift, just follow the instructions to repress the vinyl. So now you know different ways to use lots of different iron-on vinyl materials, and once you get comfortable with their differences, have fun experimenting with all the combinations on all the fun items out there. There's so many blanks that you can use. And always remember to check the heat and timing needed for your vinyls and follow my suggestions on layering them. Now, if you have any other questions about Cricut vinyl projects or crafting techniques that I covered in this video, or anything else craft related that I might be able to help you with, please let me know. Just leave your question below this video or ask over at our awesome Cricut Crafters group at jennifermaker.com/Cricut Crafters. I love to help and I want to see you make all of the things. And that's it for today. Until next time, this is Jennifer Maker reminding you to craft a life you love.